You know that feeling when you watch a productivity video on YouTube, realize your life is a hot mess, and decide to become a whole new person overnight? You know, by waking up at 5 a.m., maintaining a daily journal, drinking hot lemon water, meditating during sunrise, then proceeding to run a 5K? Okay, maybe that's just me. Whenever I'd have these moments of existential dread, wondering what I'm doing with my life, I'd always take drastic steps to change myself, to make myself more productive. As you can expect, these quick fixes and radical transformations never lasted. But over the past year, as I've become more self-aware about my own nature, I've found my own set of habits that works for me. At least for now, that makes me feel as productive as possible. So here's one productivity video you can actually stick to. When I was in elementary school, I remember struggling to wake up at 6 a.m. for the school bus and promising myself that once I'm a grown-up, I'm gonna wake up whenever I want. But now that I am apparently a grown-up, I've come to value my time more, and every hour has become precious. And whether I like it or not, waking up 1 or 2 hours earlier in the morning when the sun is shining and the birds are chirping makes it feel like I'm buying myself all this time. But since I can't bounce out of bed after just one alarm, I've developed a set of steps to ensure that I get up and stay up. First, I have multiple alarms. They start with Yogi licking my face and proceed with some Telugu music playing on my phone and my Alexa reading news headlines for the day. And if that can't get me up, I don't know what will. My entire family then heads out for a quick 1-mile walk around the neighborhood. This is the crucial step that helps me, quite literally, start my day off on the right foot. And by the time we get home, the coffee is done brewing, so I really have no excuse to fall back asleep. By now, it's 7:30 a.m. and I'm feeling great. So great, in fact, that I'm sure a few minutes scrolling on my phone won't hurt. No. Before this morning begins to unravel, I need something productive to wake up my mind and make use of this otherwise dead space in my schedule before work. So in the spirit of not wasting a second of my day and having some alone time, I've begun reading books. With a fresh cup of coffee in hand, I enlighten my mind through topics from business to psychology for around 30 minutes a day. Besides making me feel like an intellectual, reading is one of those few activities where I can truly focus on myself and my own learning without the distraction of a blaring TV, barking dogs, or nonstop notifications. Now, before I actually get started with work, I should sit down and make a to-do list. And I know I've mentioned to-do lists in previous videos, but I promise this time I think I really got it down. And this approach combines the best of every other app I've used. Basically, this calendar has a separate page for each day's to-do list. Every morning, I duplicate the previous day's page, delete irrelevant or completed tasks, and start afresh. I set a daily focus to define my goals and customize the page to suit my mood for the day, which I guess this day was fruit. And this really combines all that I wanted in a to-do list. A fresh page every single day, a simple checkbox structure, and an ease of access to all of my work. And to really feel good about myself, I can check off tasks I've already completed this morning. And with all of this accomplished, I think I'll head upstairs to actually start working. Oh, but wait, I should probably first clean up this mess. I'm already distraction prone as it is, and having a bunch of things around me just makes that worse. So I spend around 5 minutes each day optimizing my workstation for peak productivity. This starts by putting away all the junk on my desk, making my bed for Yogi to lounge on, and proceeding to dump whatever clothes I have on my desk chair to my bed. And to recreate those coffee shop vibes I've been missing lately, I turn on some light jazz or piano music in the background. And after cleaning up my physical workstation, I also take time to clear my digital workstation. I quit out of miscellaneous apps, set up my Notion board on one display, and tackle some pesky emails I've been procrastinating on. On their own, each of these things may seem insignificant, but when combined, I can go from having a cluttered desk and overloaded computer on the verge of crashing to a clean space and clear mind that's ready to work. And part of having a clear workstation means having only the apps I need open and not any more. And when I'm consulting, I have countless essays, exams, and projects from different students to keep track of, meaning countless apps open to access everything. To simplify this and see all my files in one place, I've discovered Rethink, which happens to be this video's lovely sponsor. This is a universal file manager that integrates with apps like Dropbox, Google Drive, Slack, and Gmail, and allows you to access all your files in one universal location. This small, growing startup is working on many more features to come for their upcoming launch of Universe, including integrations for Notion and Trello. And they have a generous freemium model, which I appreciate, including 10 gigs of file storage on top of the unlimited storage through connected apps. So check out Rethink if you haven't already, and thank you for sponsoring today's video. And now back to the tips. Okay, now it's time to actually get to work. Usually I focus on the harder tasks in the morning that require more thinking, like writing scripts or planning lessons, before the inevitable post-lunch afternoon slump. Speaking of lunch, let's go make some lunch. Ages ago, I used to make some nice $2 sandwiches, but now that I'm home, my family standards are a bit higher, so I've been trying to find delicious foods that still optimize our collective time, health, and energy. This is a pretty high bar to meet, but after some trial and error, I think I found one solution: these roasted veggies. This is a simple 3-step recipe, consisting of chopping up whatever veggies we have on hand, drizzling a marinade of soy sauce, oil, ginger, garlic, and spices, and popping everything in the air fryer for 15 minutes. And look at that! Pretty good, right? And by staying on my feet and actually cooking every day, I can keep that momentum going and fuel myself properly to be energized for the rest of the day. This momentum continues for a bit, but by 4 p.m., regardless of how much coffee I chug or how healthy I eat, I always hit this afternoon slump. The allure of my phone calls to me and I succumb to indulging in a single YouTube video, which becomes an hour-long marathon. So instead of consuming content during my breaks, I'm exploring hobbies where I can create something and expand my learning, like drawing. Recently, I downloaded this app called Procreate to learn digital art. I may not be the next Picasso or Leonardo da Vinci, but I love how this activity is so calming and I can visually see my progress every single day. Or I might do some dance, which honestly is more like flopping around imagining that I'm a Bollywood star. These activities may feel more like work, but lend a lot more satisfaction after just 20 minutes when I can proudly show off my work and feel like I accomplished something. And after that nice productive break, it's time to get back to work, nice and refreshed. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. Even on the best of days, when I stick to my schedule and try to do everything right, I may slip up and take an accidental nap. And that's okay. From the videos I post on YouTube, it may seem like I'm always productive, like I have it all figured out and don't waste a single minute while juggling a startup and a YouTube channel. But when you're making a 10-minute video for YouTube, it's so easy to highlight just a few moments of your day to paint whatever rosy picture you'd like. And in reality, I'm not that productive. Sometimes I rely on tips or habits that make me feel productive when I'm really not. Sometimes I snooze my 6:30 alarm, wake up at 10, and proceed to be grumpy for the rest of the day because I slept in. And sometimes my idyllic mornings reading outside won't actually be spent reading. Or the less glamorous parts of the great outdoors, like the bugs or the sun or the sweat, will become the perfect excuse to skip reading for just a day. I may fill my to-do list with fluff to feel good about getting things done. I may organize my desk, but leave the rest of my room as a hot mess. I may binge on instant ramen for lunch and dive headfirst into a food coma. And even when I do manage to draw an exact replica of my favorite movie character or make a viral YouTube video, I'll still be that disappointing artsy kid in the eyes of my Indian aunties. So, does this all mean that this whole video is a waste, that no matter what, I'll never be productive? Not at all. All this means is that none of us are perfect, and that we all need to take it easy once in a while and not be so hard on ourselves. Instead of trying to change myself to be like those productivity gurus or hating myself for every misstep I make, I've learned to use my strengths and weaknesses to my advantage, to make a routine that works for me, at least in the moment, and to not hold myself to such an unrealistic bar that sets me up for failure. And yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you found it helpful, even if it just inspired you to go and take a nap. If you like this video, please give it a big like and subscribe, and I'll see ya in the next one.